Hi there, welcome to this guide from the Careers Service about how to prepare for the Careers Fair. My name is Adam, and over the course of this video I'm going to be walking you through what you can do to make the most out of the actual day. There are a number of careers fairs that go on through semester 1 and 2 from the Careers Service, and this is going to be a guide on what to do beforehand and what to do on the day to make sure you're getting the most out of the whole event. And the first thing we want to address today is this question: why go to the fair at all? What are you going to get out of it? Now, I would say this, but there are loads of reasons for you to come to the fair, especially if you are in that position where you don't know what you want to do. You can just get to see the breadth of employers that are out there, and they've got all sorts of different jobs at different employers. Just because a company is in one sector doesn't mean necessarily that all the jobs they have are in that one sector. There are all sorts of functions within different companies, and you can get exposure to all of that. It's simple to say, but going to a fair is super easy. There's a bit of preparation we'd suggest before, which I'll go into in a second, but you just go along and go and meet these people, have these conversations. And these organisations, they are trying to spot talent. They are looking for students from the University of Manchester. So it's super easy for you to just go along and speak to these people that are really enthusiastic to meet you. And from these conversations, you'll get all sorts of ammunition, information that will make your applications that bit stronger. So when it comes to applying to these companies, you can make the best possible show of it. And finally, a lot of these companies, if not most of them, they're going to have some freebies, right? Loot. You can gather loads of stuff that you would keep for ages. You'd be amazed at the stuff you can get at a careers fair. Now, having said it is easy, there are a few things that you can do that will make it that little bit more impactful, which primarily are focused around having a plan for the careers fair. Make a short list of companies that you're interested in speaking to and do a little bit of research on them. That will allow you to prepare some questions, things that you would like to know that might make your applications a little bit better, or might make you able to decide, do you want to work for them? Are you actually interested in them? On top of that, it can be helpful to prepare a bit of a pitch. Think about what it is you would like to tell them about yourself, if the conversation goes that way. To help with that, things like updating your CV, updating your LinkedIn profile, that can really help you get a sense of what it is you have to offer. And finally, allow enough time. Think about how long you actually want to spend at the fair, how many employers you want to speak to. That'll inform then how much time you actually have. Happily, this is fairly easy for you to do. On Career Connect, you will find a list of all the exhibitors, all the companies that are coming to the Careers Fair. That's your starting point. Get a sense of who's coming, then do a little bit of research around the companies that you know, the companies you're interested in working for, or at least speaking to, and then maybe a bit of research about the companies who you never heard of. See if they might be interesting. It's worth emphasising as well that for international students, this preparation is even more important to make sure you get the most out of the time that you spend, specifically around finding whether these organisations can and do sponsor international applicants. You can do this by using the eCareers Grad tool. Hopefully you're familiar with this already, but if not, this is a tool that the University of Manchester students have access to that allows you to check whether an organisation can actually sponsor international students and how many people they've sponsored each year. To access this, if you go to the pathways within Career Connect, you'll find the International Student Pathway, which gives you access to this tool. And as part of your preparation, when you're doing your research on these companies, I would really suggest researching through Careers Grad to see whether they are even capable of sponsoring international students, and then how many applicants they have sponsored in the previous year to get a sense of, is it worth your time speaking to these organisations? Now, having done all that preparation, we get to the actual day. And here are the things you should be thinking about doing on the day of the careers fair. First thing, before you even get there, check for updates. See if all the employers are still going to be there. There might be no-shows, there might be cancellations. Gather your materials, think about the research you've done, get in the right frame of mind. Do you know what you're going to ask? Do you know what your plan is? Just go over it again. And dress appropriately. We're not expecting you to come suited and booted, but sort of smart casual, dress in a way that you think would give a decent impression to a potential employer, because that's who you're going to meet on these days. Then think about the questions that you want to ask. What information would it be helpful to you to come away from the day with? Things like, how do they recruit? When do they recruit? What do they look for when they're looking at potential applicants? What sort of jobs do they have on offer? Are those available at different times? Is your degree enough? Do you need any further qualifications or any other skills or experience that it would be helpful to get while you're still with us, while you're still at the university, or even after? All of these things that might be helpful, and lots of others. What would help you when it comes time to apply to these roles and have these conversations? And all throughout the day and after, make sure you're listening to other students. What's their experience? Have they found a potential employer? Have they found a potential organisation that they didn't know existed? Make notes of the conversations you're having so you can remember this information, remember the things about when they recruit, what they look for, and of course ask the careers service. We're going to be there throughout the day, and if you are all lost or you don't really know what to do, come and have a chat and we can point you in the right direction. And afterwards, if you do have a LinkedIn profile, use it. Follow up on LinkedIn, find the people you've spoken to, connect with them, keep the conversation going. That is a really good way of making a careers fair productive and can make it really worth your time building on these connections that you're making on the day. Now again, specifically for international students, depending on the information you find on the day, that might make you think, right, I need a plan B. It might be that the organisations you're interested in don't sponsor, they might have changed, they might have sponsored previously, but they're not doing so much anymore. If that's the case, then we need to think about what your potential plan B is, and we have all sorts of tools that it would be helpful to look at. Again, as part of the International Student Pathway, one of the things that we would suggest is on the screen, Going Global. This is not just for international students, it's also for home students as well, thinking about working abroad. Going Global is really useful. It gives you country guides, so guides by country, specifically to their recruitment market, their labour market, things like visas, how easy or how hard it is to go and work in those organisations in those countries, and then schemes, things that you need to think about, how different it is. All of this can be really useful in thinking about a plan B, an alternative, as I say, depending on how the day's gone and depending on where your head is at. Another tool that we like to recommend for Plan B for international students is the Working Abroad Guide within Prospects. If you're not familiar, Prospects is a goldmine of information for students and graduates, and within the Working Abroad Guide there are country guides again for countries all over the world that give you that sense of what it's like to work in those countries, the types of opportunities, potentially the skills gaps in those countries and how visas work. It might signpost you in other directions, which could be quite helpful. But again, just this sense of what is your alternative if your plan A doesn't work out. You just need this idea of what are you going to fall back on. That might be working abroad, that might be going home to your own country. Whatever it is, think about it kind of seriously, because it could be, for whatever reason, plan A doesn't work out and you need that thing to give you an alternative and give you that sense of confidence of, if this doesn't work, I know what else I can do. All of which brings me to the end and gives you a little bit of homework. Do some planning, check who's there, know who you want to talk to and why. For international students, are they worth that conversation? Can they sponsor? Think about the updates on the day. Do you know exactly what you're doing on the day? Take notes so that you're coming away with something tangible, and make sure you're following up afterwards. All of this can give you a productive day at the careers fair and help your applications be as strong as they possibly can be. And when it all comes down to it, enjoy the day. There's a real buzz and a real atmosphere around a careers fair. You get to have loads of conversations, meet new people, and get quite a lot out of it. So just enjoy. Thank you very much for listening. I really hope that was helpful. The careers service will be there on the day if you have any questions about the fair on the day. But if you want to talk to us beforehand, you can of course come visit us in the atrium. During term time, we're open 10 to 4 every day, short of the weekend. And if you just want to send us a message, our contact details are on the screen. You can email us at careers.info@manchester.ac.uk and our team will get back to you super quick. Thank you very much.